All right, we'll get started
Hello,
here.
hello.
Hello, hello.
Hello.
And then David, I don't know who it
Oh.
doesn't show some last names for some people like me. I don't know Claudia what?
Aloha.
Oh, aloha.
Aloha.
Listen, Hawaii. And here is like 35 degrees, so not happy campers. So
I am a Cleveland native. I know all too well.
fine, be
nice.
that way. Say hello from Hawaii.
All right, well, let's get started here. It's a little after 6, so we'll kind of get moving here. So maybe we can stay on, stay on the agenda here. So welcome everybody to the ACF Cleveland and the Akron-Canton chapters March meeting. We have Chef Kim Simmons as our special presenter tonight. And let me see here. So everyone knows that we are recording our meeting tonight, so we can put it on our YouTube page, so you can refer back to it, or if you have to break away early tonight, we will upload this to our YouTube page and share it on our social media. Some virtual etiquette tonight, as usual. Please try to keep yourself muted. But we do want this to be kind of interactive. It is a smaller group. I think I'm going to hand this off to Claudia at some point. And we really want to interact with Kim tonight, Chef Kim. This way we can make it as much as sort of an in-person meeting as possible. So I think Claudia will lay down some ground rules, maybe kind of raise your hand or something, and if you want to speak, and unmute yourself. And then if anybody gets a little too rowdy, we'll drop the mute hammer back on you. But please ask questions and be interactive, and let's kind of make this fun. And then I'll email out the CEUs tomorrow. If I don't have your email address or something, just hit me up and I'll send it to you. But the continuing education units, we handle them through our website and email automator. But somehow if you don't get it, just let me know. We have a raffle tonight at the end of the night. We have two $50 gift cards to the Mill Creek Grill in Jack Thistledown, Racino. So right now we have this set up for our local members of the Cleveland Akron chapter. If you are like David, I can't imagine that you're going to want to win a gift card if you live in Hawaii. So that's why we're not throwing your name in there. But David Avisoda, you come to Ohio sometimes. Maybe you're like, hey, I want to be in on this. Please let us know. Send us a direct
Jeff,
message.
I would donate that to a family.
See, I love the idea of that, right? I don't know how that would work, but if you're a local member from Akron or Cleveland, we've added you to the raffle. If you're a visitor, or you didn't RSVP, just send us a direct message and we'll throw your name into the hat here. And we have a little wheel. So the Jack Thistledown Racino is, I don't say operated, but one of our members is the general manager there? Shane. And so our chapter is supporting our members, restaurants, places they work. We're purchasing gift cards every month to help support them during these trying times. So good luck to everybody. Go win that. The Thistledown's a lot of fun. So you go there, get some food, do some gambling, have a good night out. Our next meeting is scheduled for Monday, April 12th here via Zoom, and we have Steve Beatty is agreed to do something, and I think we're going to do probably some melon carving. He and I talked a few months ago. We talked about doing something sort of interactive. I have to follow up with him, but I think there's gonna be a very good chance that we're gonna tell you, hey, bring a little knife. Here's a knife that you can buy from Amazon. It's $10 or whatever you have. Bring a couple melons, and we're going to do an interactive, sort of a hands-on melon carving thing. So I think that could be a lot of fun. I've done some fruit melon carving classes, and where I work at, we drop one of those on our fruit platters, and we can charge a little extra. And it's just also a lot of fun. So please RSVP with that through our website as well. It helps us control the RSVPs and make sure you get your continuing education units. I'd like to do a little member recognition of Lawrence McFadden is certified master chef, and he is one of our members. He is the general manager at the Union Club here in Cleveland, and he was recognized with the Mel Rex Award for excellence in club management. And he and I had a little conversation going on. I kind of think it's a big deal. Lawrence, many of you may know, being a master chef, he has many awards through his culinary career, and now he made the transition to the front of house and is being recognized for that work as well. Also in our conversation with Lawrence has agreed to host one of our virtual meetings coming up here in the future. And actually I have a date, and I'm sorry, I don't know, I think maybe it's June. I don't see a meeting code to join. I gotta give some people some meeting codes. That Lawrence be hosting a meeting here, and some of the conversation might be about transitioning from the kitchen to the front of the house. So we're kind of looking forward to working on that with him. There are some volunteer opportunities here locally with the ACF Cleveland. We feed the homeless every Tuesday at the Westside Catholic Center. We prepare 125 hot meals for people working with ingredients in their pantry. They get some stuff from the Cleveland Food Bank. It's a lot like Chopped. A group of us will show up, and some of the best meals I prepared have been out of that kitchen cooking for the homeless. So if you are available, and please excuse me while I try to get this meeting to somebody else here. I would love to have you join us at the Westside Catholic Center up in Ohio City near St. Ignatius High School. We also have an ACF practical exam scheduled for April 30th at Lorraine County Community College. This information is also on our website. I believe we only may have 1 or 2 slots available. It's going to be a smaller one. We're trying to do this and social distance at the same time. It is a big kitchen, so we feel confident that if you are going for certification, that you should feel safe in the kitchen while we're doing it.
It's actually a good kitchen for somebody who is looking to do a practical later to observe. There's a lot of glass there.
Yes, yeah,
watch
absolutely.
the kitchens.
Yeah, no, you're David. You're absolutely right. So if you guys, if certification is on your mind, and you want to kind of come check out what it's all about, it's wide open for you to kind of come observe and see, what goes on in this arena, so you can feel confident that you might want to do it as well.
Jeff, can you take on apprentices on that day?
I do not have a mentor that day.
Okay.
So I do not have a mentor that day. I know they had one in Florida, but it's obviously far away. So personally, I'm trying to become a mentor so we can get more people to do their apprentice with us.
You can fly me out, or that'll be a free trip home.
You're from Hawaii.
Yeah.
Like I can imagine what that would cost.
It's a one-stop flight.
Hawaii to Cleveland? No way.
Yeah.
No, you're flying to Houston. No way. I don't believe you.
LAX to Cleveland. Hawaii, LAX, Cleveland. Boom, easy.
Also going on, so I'm going to back this up a little bit. The volunteer opportunities at the Westside Catholic Center, there are continuing education units available for volunteering at the Westside Catholic Center. You need 25% of your CECs over 5-year CEUs over a 5-year period to come from volunteer or leadership experience. So that is eligible for continuing education units. We also have an opportunity to do some cooking videos here. So my friend Steve Pelton reached out to me. He operates a 501(c), and he does cooking videos for individual seniors and individuals with development disabilities. So if you're looking for an opportunity to have, some practice in front of cameras, presenting, looking for opportunities to get some presentation skills, My friend Steven is looking to get a library of cooking videos together. Um, I back this up. This is actually going to be live every Monday at 3 o'clock. I'll send this information out as well. I meant to do it as part of the newsletter. Um, so there's a chance here. Steven's a great guy, and there's also CEUs available for this if you wanted to do cooking videos for this nonprofit. I want to let everybody know that coming up this week, Thursday, there is a town hall sponsored by the national office. Our national elections are coming up, I believe in April. Do we have a
May.
date? Is it May? Okay, is it May?
May 1st, digital ballots go out.
Okay, okay. I haven't heard a date yet. So May 1st, our national elections are taking place tonight. Well, so Thursday, we have a town hall featuring 4 of the candidates for national treasurer. What a job, huh? You guys are up for. Um, good for you. Tonight, we have 2 of the candidates joining us here on the call, and I'm going to give them a few minutes to introduce themselves, do a little campaigning. I know personally, I go to the national convention every year, and I get a chance to meet the candidates. But maybe some of you guys don't know, you don't get to go, you don't know what's going on, don't know much about the candidates, and just what you may see in an email. Um, Here's a chance for David Ivy Soto and Michael Mensch are both running for treasurer. I'm going to give them a couple minutes and introduce themselves. If you guys would like to ask some questions, I think this is a great opportunity. So I am going to mute myself and hand it off to. I didn't flip a coin. Michael or David? Who'd like to start?
It's up to you.
Let's give it to Michael. Michael,
Okay.
you've been running. I know you just got off the Columbus call doing this.
Yep, absolutely. I was on the Columbus call for a few minutes, and then I jumped off to join you folks. So I really appreciate you guys having me on. It means a lot to be able to spend a little bit of time with the chapters, especially during COVID and everything going on. It's not the same as when you could get together in the platform situation at a convention or a conference and speak your platform. So certainly for me, it's been, difficult to spend time to try to connect with everybody. So most of this has been done over Zoom over the last couple of months. So a lot of fun. I have actually spoken with David. I think we spoke last weekend, and it was good conversation. I think there's a lot of synergy between a lot of the candidates right now. People are running to make sure there's, change in what's happening. So yeah, I'm running for national treasurer. I'm currently the dean for Kaiser University Center for Culinary Arts. We have 3 culinary schools in the state of Florida, and I oversee those. And I'm also the current chair for the accreditation commission for the ACF. So I have a lot of sort of inside with the culinary schools and spend a lot of time at the office and chat with those folks often. One of the reasons that I'm running for treasurer is that when I took over the commission, we were losing over $100,000 every year. 2017, I think we lost about 101 or something like that, and then 131 in 2018. When I became chair in 2019, we started making some small steps, and we were basically I had a surplus of about 80,000 in 2019, and then in 2020 we were able to have a surplus of 267,000. If you're not familiar. The ACF, other than membership, a lot of the departments lose money. In fact, most of them do. So other than membership, obviously, because membership doesn't have a lot of expenses. Essentially, what we ended up doing is looking at the way we build, the way we interacted with schools, the way that we managed our processes. And our processes were archaic. We were taking receipts from chefs from all over the place, waiting a month, turning them into a school, hoping to get paid on time. So what we ended up doing is averaging the cost of what site visits was costing us, plus people's meals, taxis, that kind of thing. We came up with a flat fee. Well, that took hours every week out of the office staff's work because we didn't need to keep those people to do that work. So between a flat fee, changing the fact that we charge schools before we go on visits and not after visits because we weren't getting paid for a lot of visits, things like that, we're able to really turn the ship around, and we're able to go from a bigger staff to a smaller staff, which helped us save some money as well. And truthfully, when you talk to the people in the office, if you ever spend any time with Michelle Whitfield or Dana Baldwin, Everett Parker will tell you the same. He's the CFO. That department's never run more smooth. It's never been more cohesive. The employees are happier. It's been great. So I'm honored and very proud of the work I've done with the commission. And I'd like to see if there's a lot of those synergies inside the organization itself. With that being said, as everybody knows, the ACF is financially struggling. You know, we're about $1 million. We have an investment account and there's $1 million borrowed on that investment account. If you didn't know that, that's probably because it's not talked about a ton. If the market was to take a downturn, the bank could call that note in. So it's kind of something that has to be taken care of quickly or there's going to be major issues. Hopefully the market holds out and they never have to worry about that until they can get it paid down. But, you know, the ACF's struggle today is, you know, we don't have a lot of member engagement, member participation. I think elections are under 20% of people vote, things like that. So there's a lot of change that needs to go on. Not only looking and investigating alternative revenue streams, but also making sure that all financial decisions are member oriented. You know, a lot of the decisions are not made thinking about who pays the bills, and those are members. Those are you folks, you know, me and you. So, you know, I'm looking forward to hopefully, you know, becoming the next treasurer. And if I'm not, I told David I'd back him or whoever is. And I think David's on the same place with me. But at some point, the financial strength needs to be in the words, you know, change and no. No, we can't spend that money unless we know change is coming out of it. And those are the two things that are coming. Those are the most important things I can find. Inside your chat box, I'll write my email address and I'll answer questions today if you want to, but you're more than welcome to email me. I'll give you my cell phone, whatever you want. Call me anytime. I love talking to members. I always learn something from every new member I speak with. So at any time, please let me know. All right.
Awesome,
I'll
Michael.
let David speak and I'll shoot my email in there for you guys.
And I'll be happy to share it out on the email tomorrow with the CEU. So
Thank you, sir. I appreciate that.
I appreciate your dedication, and I'm going to add replace spotlight here with David. All right, David.
Great,
Nice to
thank
see
you
you.
very much. And Chef Michael, thank you for participating with this with me as well. You know, I think it's a very important thing that all of us as members of the ACF not only vote, but also get active with the election process and really understand what the issues are and who the candidates are and why we're running and what we can bring to the table. I've got board experience. I was a national secretary. I've worked on several different committees over the years as well. And I got an MBA. Not only do I have an MBA, but I've also taught business. I've taught all the way up to the MBA level. And I'm bilingual, English and Spanish, academically bilingual in both languages, which helps us with the idea that what we really need to do with the ACF is we really need to broaden who we are. We're very, very myopic in what we're doing. And until we get to the point where we start to broaden, we're going to be in this financial crunch. The pandemic has really hit our industry very heavily, but it's an opportunity for us. I really believe strongly that our industry is going to be stronger than it ever has been because of the pandemic. It's a pruning that we didn't expect, we didn't plan on. It was much more massive and much more punitive than we expected, but it's going to be a beneficial thing for us. We need to be looking at how we can broaden our membership, but we also need to wean ourselves from this dependence on membership dues. As Chef Michael was pointing out before, yeah, membership doesn't cost us a whole lot for the revenue that we get from it, absolutely. But we are way too dependent on membership dues. Sorry about that. I thought I had that on mute. We've seen dwindling support from our sponsors over the years. We can't be dependent on our sponsorship revenue either. We need to be looking at the programs that we currently have and generating revenue from them, But we also need to be looking at what potential programs we can have that will generate revenue. I believe strongly that we need to contract a grant writer, not only just a grant writer, but also a grant researcher that can help us identify potential grants. But also, I think we need to be talking within ourselves, within the membership. What grants do we know about? What grants do we think we should create? Because there are grants that we can go to organizations, and that's what a grant researcher does. They also find out about organizations that are willing to give grants, and we can propose a grant. So we need to be looking at ways that we can create revenue generating opportunities for the ACF beyond the membership and beyond sponsorship. I would really love to see our membership dues go way down. One major way that we can do that is by broadening our membership. Right now, where do we find most of our members? Healthcare, country clubs, educators, hotels, contract food service. But what about, the standalone restaurant? What about the K through 12 cafeteria worker? What about the QSR? What about the fast food restaurant? There's so many different areas. We have a decent military population within our organization. That's been very helpful for us. Part of it is because we did a grant, and we did some work with the with the military. These are the kinds of things we need to be looking at. And on top of that, we need to be going to our affiliate or corollary organizations and telling them what we can provide them so that we can start working with them more. We have so many opportunities right now. When I was on the board over 10 years ago, or actually, I left the board 10 years ago. These were the things I was talking about then. I was pushing really hard for these things to happen because I saw it then that we were going to be in trouble. I was starting to see the trend where our student membership was going up and our professional membership was going down. That's not an equation that's going to make us sustainable. We need to look for other ways to do it. And part of it is not understanding that we cannot be dependent on the membership dues. I think at that point, I mean, there's a lot of things. I'm very excited about the opportunity. There's tons of tough decisions that we need to be making. As I said, I've got the experience from running businesses, from teaching business, from having been on the board before. I know that I can ask the questions. I can push for those tough decisions to be made. We need to find ways to be much more proactive, take advantage of the circumstances that we're in, use the pandemic as an excuse to make some major changes that we all know that the ACF needs. And I'll open it up now for some questions to be asked of both Michael and myself. And by the way, I'm going to throw this out as well. Send in treasurer specific questions to the ACF for Thursday night's town hall. Even if you can't participate on the town hall on Thursday night, you can send in your questions ahead of time. That way your concerns and your questions can be addressed during that town hall.
That's great. Yep. Yeah, so when I give it a few minutes here, does anybody have any questions here for our candidates? Again, I think, David, I want to thank you for your dedication to being a candidate for the treasurer. I know it's a lot of work, it's a lot of personal time. I met both of you guys. I appreciate your commitment to the ACF. Does anyone have any questions?
Don't forget to take yourself off of mute to ask the question.
One thing I wanted to say also is that we're in a tough bind because only 55 people logged in on the first call, which was for the regional vice presidents, but that's probably closer to about 45 because you've got ACF staff, you've got this person, that person, plus the candidates. And then the second call I heard was 43. So, and that was for the secretary. So then when you look at that, you're probably down to maybe, 36 people or so. I mean, it really comes down to engagement. If I mean, I hate to say it this way, but nothing changes if nothing changes. We need people to go out and vote that are engaged, participatory members.
I had a question. Do we have any, are we eligible for any of grant money through these, this big $1 trillion package that was, that
So
the president passed?
we have received PPP money,
Yeah.
which we are doing everything right now to make sure that it turns into grant money as opposed to a loan that we have to repay. From what I've been told, not in a very straightforward, and that's one thing that I have to say. I want to be much more transparent about things, and I haven't been able to get a clear, straight answer about exactly how much money we received and how far we are away from being able to turn that money into grant money. But from what answers I have been able to get, the indication is that it was around $400,000 or $500,000 that we received, and that it does look like we will be able to convert it into grant, so we won't have to repay that money. But I think we need to be transparent about that stuff. Nobody wants to hear that you know, I don't have the money to buy chicken for the barbecue. You know, nobody wants to hear that. Okay, nobody wants to hear, hey, let's bulk it up on starches. You know, we don't want to hear that kind of stuff. But the reality is we need to tell people that. We need to be transparent about what our financial situation is. We need to be transparent about what our organization is looking like, because only that way can we face the realities that we need to face to straighten things out and come out of this stronger than we were before.
The PPP money was given to us under the contingency that we keep our current staff levels. So the ACF has kept their current staff levels. If not, that money would go away. And there's probably a 90% chance that had they not gotten PPP money, the office would have had to make pretty drastic changes just to make it through the year. Pretty heavy staff cuts and stuff like that, because membership's down around 14,000 from, much higher levels over the years, obviously. But Joe Sorowski, who's the membership director, he always says, they're dying by 1,000 paper cuts, slowly but surely, one member here, two member there. However, I think as the economy starts to come back, in Florida, the economy is running pretty heavy. You can't get into a restaurant here. It's insane. And every state license plates here. It takes a lot longer to get around where I live. I think you will see people rejoin as their jobs come back and things like that. A local purveyor here, for a normal Monday and 54 Mondays, they shipped out 30,000 extra cases this Monday than they had done in 54 Mondays prior. If that gives you an idea, like the economy is starting to pick back up. Specifically, Florida's in spring break mode too, but hopefully that encourages people to get back involved, and they need continuing education, so on and so forth.
Thank you.
Cool.
Thank you very much for the question.
Yep, that's great. All right, guys, again, I appreciate you guys joining us. I appreciate your dedication to the ACF. This was great. Best of luck to both of you. I think we have some strong candidates.
And I will put my,
I know everybody cares. Everybody cares about the ACF. So
Absolutely.
I put my email address into the chat box. Oops, I sent that to David only. I'll send it to everybody.
send it out, and I'll email it out to everybody as well.
Thank you.
But don't hesitate to reach out to us via email. Do me a favor. I get tons of email. If you put on their ACF question as the subject line, it'll make it easier for me to know that that you're sending me a question, and it doesn't get stuck in some black hole.
Awesome.
Thanks guys. Appreciate your time. Thank you so much.
Appreciate you joining us. We'll see you soon. And good luck in May.
Absolutely.
So
At your service.
Let's see. Let's switch over here to our guest chef, Kim Simmons. There she is. Claudia knows Kim. Claudia, I'll maintain as the host, but Claudia is going to be our MC.
Yeah, and by the way, Kim Simons.
I'm so sorry.
Yeah.
What did I say, Simmons?
Yeah, everybody does that.
You know, my name is actually pronounced Selick, but I go by Selick because I got tired of correcting people.
Yeah, I'm
So-
never gonna get tired.
So welcome, Kim. I appreciate you joining us tonight. I'm going to have Claudia MC this thing.
Hi, everyone. Hey, Kim, I said I was going to do this just very quickly before we move forward. I just want to do something very quick. John, can you enable me to share the screen? I just want to make sure that everyone's name that wants to participate is in the wheel for later. Very quickly.
Yes, I believe I have everybody that I see for the raffle tonight.
You do?
I saw Terry Green. I think I saw you joined our
Yeah.
meeting tonight.
Okay.
But if anybody else, just hit us on chat that throw my name
Okay.
into the wheel. But I
Okay,
think we're good to
alright.
go. But I'll
Okay.
monitor that as well.
Okay, all right. All right, well, we're very excited to have you, Kim, tonight. Well,
Hey.
you are gonna do a mural for us, so I'm gonna let you start. And then if anybody has a question, raise your hand, you know, that way we know. And if we can be kind of like concise, so we don't make this meeting till tomorrow morning. You know, although if we do, it was gonna be eggs and toast for breakfast, right?
Oh, yeah. I have plenty of toast, yeah. Plenty
Right.
of bread.
So yeah, so I'll let Kim take it away, and then we'll start interacting. You know, as she's burning some toast for good, because usually burning toast has a bad connotation, but I think we're gonna change that today. So thank you for being with us tonight, Kim. We appreciate you giving us your time, and we're looking forward. So I'll let you take it away, and then I'll be interacting. You know, asking questions like how you started with all this, and but that way we can go ahead and start.
Okay.
All right.
Yeah. Well, I'm gonna kind of jump in pretty fast. I'm an artist, a food artist, a cake artist. Pretty much taught myself most of this. I've been on multiple Food Network shows, kind of showing off my cakes. Also, I worked in Busch Gardens and SeaWorld doing wine and food festivals. And actually that's where the toast art came from. Is that it was someone else's turn to do the toast art. They set it all up. They had weeks to plan and put it together, and they backed out probably a day and a half before the day. And they just go, "Hey, Kim, do you think you can do it?" So they threw this at me. I have never done toast. I didn't know how to burn it, how to put it together. And I just came up with this master plan, and it became a huge hit at the park. People were absolutely loved it. And it's a really fun kind of backdrop that you can use in any kind of culinary thing. I'm gonna kind of move you over with my Archon mount here so I can show you what we're doing. So be patient with me. I just have to set you up to this section.
We can see.
Yeah, I'm trying to twirl it. That's the hard part. There we go. Let me see. What can you see? Can you see my board?
Yes, we can see the board and the burlap, so we're good.
Yep. All right. So basically, I like burlap because it has like crevices in it, so that it makes it easier for the toast and the glue to hold on to it. And I usually use a 1/2-inch foam core because then it has some strength and power to hold up the toast. The other one can kind of bend on you or not have the same structural strength. So the easiest way to glue on your, and I'm just doing a mini version here, but you would kind of measure it out to fit your toast. And I'll show you what I mean on that in a few minutes. But the easiest way to glue it is you usually just go from the corners. And you can use a piece of cardboard to help push it so you don't burn yourself. I sometimes use a cake smoother, just something so you don't burn your hands. And you just do all your corners first. And like I said, this would be on a much bigger scale.
So that it can be as big or as small as you want to design it, right?
Yep, it's as big as you want, and it has to fit your toast too.
Okay.
You have to take in mind how your toast is going to dry. And I have, after I put this together, I have some toast, some of it dried over here already, and then some that hasn't been dried, and you'll see how much of the shrinkage there is. And this is like easy, really easy to do. Put it together. And you could also back it with another piece of foam core if you don't like this look. When you're finished with it, you could just throw a piece of foam core, a thin piece on the back to give it like a more smooth look. And I've had the toast where it's actually stayed for over a year. after I burned it, it was a piece of art for over a year. And I
Wow.
don't know if it would have stayed longer. It's just the people who had it, they kind of just got rid of it. You
So then
see,
it doesn't mold or anything like that, right?
nope, because it's all dried out already. It just stays. It just kind of holds up. It just kind of gets a little drier, but like I said, a whole year it was in a restaurant. They used it as part of their decorations. Okay.
I don't know if I could say this, but reminds me of the experiment of the hamburger that has been going around for I don't know how many years, like 20
Yep,
years.
right.
And the French fries and nothing has happened to them. Something
Yep,
similar,
it'll
no?
last. All right, so
I didn't-
basically,
I
I mean,
didn't
you
say
can go neater, get neater, but I don't want to waste time on that. So here's basically your board. And now I'm going to show you the toast. If you take I like buying from Walmart. I don't know if you can see this brand. It's the Great White. I like it because it's square. The bread it's square, like here, like see this one, how it has the round top. I like the
Okay.
one where it's more square, the pieces, because then you can fit them together better because the round top will kind of get in your way. So I
Okay.
buy the one that's totally square. So these are not dried out. You see the difference in the size of how much it
wow.
shrinks. And the easiest way to dry it out is you just take your bread and you just put it on sheet racks, on your speed rack. You just lay it all out. You do more than you need because some of them bend more than others. You see like how that one's straighter where that one's not with holes. So you're going to have to pick and choose from the pieces, your best pieces. But I just lay it out for, it's like 2 days before your project and it'll dry out on its own perfect. I guess if it's humidity there, you might want to do it a little longer to let it dry out. But I've never had any problem. I did it in the middle of June down in SeaWorld. I actually had to use a little bit of a heater to dry it out quicker, but that day and a half, I just laid them all out first. And by the time it was time to use it in the park, they were dried out and ready to go.
Okay.
So now putting this on, what I usually like to do is I like to lay out how it's going to go first, figure out my pattern of how I'm laying it out to get it to fit. And this is what I mean about judging it, the size of your board. You might want to actually dry your bread out first to see how big you want to make your board. Because you can't really tell by how much it's going to dry out. Each type of bread dries a little bit more than others. So you want to, before you cut your actual board, you want to set up how it's going to dry, how big you want it through the dried pieces. So then I kind of just go like this. And let me get my isomol. I just use Simi Cakes isomol, just regular isomol. Or you could use a glue gun, but if you want to keep it more food grade, just kind of pour some in there. And they just kind of gonna let it together and let it harden up. Go. Move them over. And it just takes, how long isomalt, depending on how cold the room is, how fast it'll harden for you, or how much humidity or whatever. It depends on where you are on how fast the isomalt works. There we go.
Now, Fleck is adding some information on the chat, guys, where you can find, the isomalt and some other things. So it's going to stay there if you want to find, where you get it. And he's saying, make sure you know that isomalt is hot.
Yes, well, it's very hot. Like I was going to say, what you do is they come in little cubes. That's how it's prepared. And you put it in one of these silicone cups, I find is the best. And you heat it first for 30 seconds. And then you just keep reheating it, opening it up and moving it around a little bit for 15-second intervals until it boils. And then you let it sit. Usually when you're going to use it, usually let it sit until it settles down and then it's ready to go. And then you can throw it in at any time again and reheat it at any point. So here, basically that's that part of it. So that's how you prepare your board. You let it sit. And then what I usually do, I'm going to move this out of the way because I want to show you the tools. What I usually do is sketch it in with my design first with a pencil. Now, actually, I can show you that quick. I'll just put something on, but I usually like to sketch my design with a pencil. So I'm just going to just like kind of draw just like a flower or something, just so you can see. Like I said, it still has to harden. And like I said, you can use a glue gun too if you don't care about food grade on it. So you just kind of sketch where you're going to burn with the pencil lightly before you start, because it can get kind of confusing with all these squares. So there you go. Okay. My tools that I use are a heat gun. But I use trowels. Can you see these? Different style like trowels with the heat gun. And I use that, and I'll show you when I get going, where the heat, it kind of develops lines where the heat, wherever you lay it on the toast, it burns. So I use, this one's my favorite because it gives you kind of points, but you might need the different versions. I also use, it's old, so don't judge me, my wood burner. It's just, that will help like with fine lines, you can use a wood burner. And then I have, this is like a great new tool. It's the Ziotto pen, and it has different settings for heats, different tips. It has all different versions that you can use on isomalt, chocolate, fondant, edible paper, just about anything. This is such a great tool. It has a little stand that goes with it. I love this tool, and I use this because this kind of brings back my highlights on this one. This one doesn't burn it like the wood burner does. This kind of pulls back my highlights, where when you get burning, you might want to get some highlights back. And I guess there's a discount code she said she would do through me if you put Chef Kim, and I think my husband's going to be putting up the information, that she'll give you a discount on this. But this is one of my favorite tools. I've used it on so many things so far. All right, so I'm gonna move you back over, so we'll see how that goes. Sorry about the dizziness. All right, let me see if I can get you guys back. Can you see the toast again?
Yep, just a little lower. There you go. Maybe
Okay.
just a tidbit to your left. There you go. Perfect.
Yeah, I'm kind of just trying to tighten it up so it doesn't fall on me. All right, straighten it out. Is that good? Wait, no, it's crooked. Yeah.
Yeah, that's good.
Okay. All right. Let me plug
Perfect,
it in
thanks.
so I don't lose you guys. All right, so now it's basically going to be, like I said, using, I don't know why it's crooked all of a sudden. But okay. So I just used the heat gun. I don't know if you can see it. Just one of these high-powered heat guns that has, trying to get the tools out of it. It has a couple settings. It has like high and low. It depends on what you're trying to do or how deep you're burning. I usually like to put a silt mat underneath where I'm working because you don't want to burn your counter because it can get kind of hot. Also, trying to think, silt mat, that, and an easel. I like to put it on an easel so that it's upward. It's easier to work upward than it is when you work down on it. So let me get going. This is probably going to make some noise, but I'm just going to start burning. I don't know if you can see, but it's just going to start burning some lines. Can you see that?
Yes.
You just kind of switch, and it depends on how you angle it, is the way the burns come.
Oh God, my dogs are gonna bark.
So get my beanie and kind of outline him. You know, it's just, it depends on like your method. There's no real rules on how you burn it. It's just sketching with the burner, technically. And it actually smells really good. But the funny part is I'm gluten intolerant, so I don't eat bread.
So
Or
that's
my
how you,
kids.
that's how you test your smoke alarms around your house?
Yeah, no, we have it all here, but I can't eat any of the cakes or the cookies or anything that I bake.
So the scraper is
That's
a,
why I play with my food, because I can't eat it.
so the scraper is a shield to protect
wait.
it, right?
The thing, it's hard
Yeah,
for me to hear you because of the sound here.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah, this one, no, it's because of the sound of the heater here.
Right. That's what.
What it does is, this kind of blocks where you don't want it,
Mhm.
and it lets you direct it where you do want it. So it depends on like how far you hold it away or how close where you want it to burn. Because if I just tried to go straight, this doesn't have a point, so it wouldn't, it would just burn a circle. So this kind of is my pencil in a way. So I usually get the basic lines in with this, and then I come back with the what do you call it, wood burner.
So I guess with the isomalt, it could be edible, but how about if the pencil graphite?
The pencil. Whoops, I knew that. I told you. I told him.
He wasn't kidding.
I said you're gonna need to take that.
Did you
off.
really sell the smoke alarm?
Yeah.
Normally I do this outside. Sorry,
That's funny.
you gotta wave it. Or can you take out the thing? I turned on the fan now, so I have one blowing outside, but I told him, I said, it's gonna go, I know it.
So then even though we cannot see it, it's creating some smoke, right?
Say that again?
It's creating some smoke that the detector is
Oh,
getting,
yeah.
right?
He took it off, so we'll be okay until I finish here, I hope.
But going back to the question about is the toast edible, Kim?
Yeah. The toast is edible, the pencil, from everything I've ever heard from anyone, it won't hurt you. All of us use it like for light lines. And if you were really worried, you can use an edible marker.
Okay, okay, that's a good choice.
I just use the pencil. Plus, I don't think anyone's really gonna eat this. This is more like a piece of art that you never really eat. It's just kind of like you made art out of food.
Okay. Now, for somebody that is not super creative or, crafty and create those patterns, what would you recommend?
Well, what you could do too is, if you wanted to, you could stencil on your design. If you weren't sure, you could like put a stencil of the, the line drawing. You can use, the method of, copying and tracing it over. I mean, there's like no rules on it. I sketch, but if you can't, there's any way you could get it on, and then you're just following the lines now. And I have, what I usually do is I print out.
I see.
To look at, so that it gives me an idea of where like the highlights and the shadows are. So you just follow that.
So it's very similar to kind of like ice carving. Remember how we were talking earlier? That's how they do the templates, and then they glue it on the ice with water, and then they do the lines, and then you work on all the detailing and stuff. So this is very similar.
Yeah. And then some designs up here. And then and it's the way you hold your hand too, like where the patterns go. The way the feathers would go, it'll help out with your design. Like around the eyes, there's usually, it goes around.
This is kind of like watching Bob Ross.
That was funny.
Like, it's just turning into something. You're like,
Yeah.
There is a happy
Well,
owl
that's
right
so
here.
funny.
There's an owl. It's an owl. I didn't
It's a
think you were
happy
gonna do
owl.
it.
I'm laughing because when I was on Holiday Wars, we were filming, and while I'm painting a backdrop with royal icing, and all the producers start laughing and calling me Bob Ross too. So I was making happy little clouds. And
Happy little owls.
Yep. Well, the owl, I don't know if you've seen my Facebook, but I just met this owl technically. It's a great horned owl. Actually, on my Facebook, it's my profile picture right now. And
nice.
he put his face right to my face. I've always been very attached to birds of prey and owls, because I have some Native American in me, and I like kind of follow the spirit animals, and you know how everything has meaning. And the owl is a very important bird, and it means change. It like brings change. The bringer of change is one of the totems that it said. And I'm thinking with the way COVID and everything, it's time for some change, for some things to open up and some good things to happen again.
I just posted your Facebook in case people want to go and see some other things you've done, or if they want to follow you or find you. Or
So now I'm gonna put some detail into it. Now I just gotta plug in this thing, and hopefully it reaches. Let's see. So I have my wood burner. It just takes a few minutes for this thing to kind of warm up, and I'm gonna start throwing in some detail with it once it gets a little hot. Actually, I'm gonna do the eyes quick first too. I forgot you could do this too.
oh, you use it. Okay.
There we go. Get his eyeball in. And now mainly just kind of start sketching it when this gets warm in a few seconds. Any questions?
Any questions, anybody? If you want to mute yourself and ask a question, feel free.
I like questions. Yeah, it worked earlier, so it's not getting hot yet. If not, I have another one. Yeah, it's starting to get hot now. So I kind of over dried this just because I was prepping early. But it's better if it's only 2-day dry. It still has a little like I don't know, a little stickiness to it. But this one's really dry. It's probably why we have more smoke. I don't know why it doesn't seem like it's getting hot. I might have to get the other one.
You set off the
Yeah.
smoke alarm, you blew a fuse.
Yeah, let me see if I can get
All in real time.
I couldn't remember which one worked. So I haven't done this in a long time. So let me try this one to see if this one works. Plug this in. Same thing, just different version. Let me see if it's starting to get warm at all. 'Cause I did try this out earlier, but it doesn't seem to be getting warm.
And wood burners like that in a like a hardware place, or where can we get those, Kim?
Craft stores,
Craft
hardware
stores?
stores, yeah, they're all over. They're like an old school kind of tool. They've
Okay.
been around for a long time. I just found because they have that tip. You see how it has that pointy tip?
Yeah, it'll be like a
It's
chisel.
great for lines, but for whatever reason, unless I turn this off somehow, I don't know. They don't seem to be getting warm yet.
Yeah, maybe there was a blew a breaker or a fuse or something.
Maybe I did because they're not. Neither of them are getting warm for some reason. And they were on earlier.
Hmm.
No,
Ah,
that's the blue one.
you
That's
found That might explain it all. I don't know.
Now, that's the glue gun. For some reason, they're not getting warm. Okay, half a toaster. Okay, this one is starting to get warm now.
Okay, good.
There we go. So this takes a little bit longer, this part, because you're like burning in the kind of the designs. It just has to get hot here. That's why I like the Giotto. You can go hotter or not as hot, but it doesn't burn. It kind of brings out the highlights on this. It just kind of cuts into whatever you're working on. It works, like I said, that one, it works great on top. These are like 100 years old, these tools too. I was using these when I was a teenager burning wood.
Now for the foam and the burlap, just, any craft store or places like
Okay,
that.
There we go. This one's doing what I want it to do now. Yeah, it's just a craft store item. You can find it almost anywhere in the craft store. I mean, they have like that wood area, so
Okay.
any craft store, wherever you find the wood, there's usually wood burners. Now you see how this is working? It's
Yeah,
leaving a nice sharp line.
nice. So you said you were 113 years old. Is that what you said?
Yeah, well, when I was only like 13 years old. Yeah. Yeah. People joke with me that I'm dead anyway, so yeah, I'm like 100 years old. I can't see what you guys see. Oh, you can see the owl.
It's 7:01. We're good.
Okay, yeah, getting there. But you got the point, pretty much too. It's just detailing it up. My tools, a new wood burner would be much warmer. It'd be hotter. I think I have to invest in a new one.
Fleck is telling on you, Kim. Fleck is
Huh?
telling on you. He's saying that you actually freeze modern chocolate with your hands. And I remember,
Yeah, I do. I do.
yeah, Pam, do you remember we had it in a class in Akron at the one of the meetings with the Akron chapter? I don't know, when was it? 3-4 years ago, maybe 5 years ago, who knows?
I think more like 5, yeah, 5.
Yeah,
6
she
years
did
ago, yeah.
a chocolate molding sculpture class.
Oh, yes, yes.
Yeah, remember her? She came with Burton.
Yeah.
And yeah, I remember her saying that that her hands were pretty cold. So that's a good thing for somebody that works with chocolate.
Oh
Yes.
yeah, modeling chocolate's easy for me. The hard part is that whenever you do things, it's usually cold where you're doing it. It takes me
Right.
twice as long to warm it up. And I
Yeah.
hate that, because I
Yeah,
can't warm it up.
I remember the class we took with you. The one we had the day before. So yeah. Oh man.
Yeah.
He's
So
calling
here
you
we
the
go.
undead. He's saying that your eyes are starting to come alive. I think he's gonna sleep on the couch tonight. He's really getting it.
Yeah, he usually does. I don't get to see what he writes. He just goes with it.
I'll send you a transcript so you can let him have it.
Yeah. You see how he's coming out now? So it's just some fine detail with it. Like I said, my wood burner is kind of hurting right now. So I'm gonna hook up the Giotto to show you how I can pull out the eye parts. Let me unplug this guy here. And this one has, like I said, different settings on it. So you can, I don't know if you can see it, has different settings. So I'm gonna go for the high setting. Give that a few seconds while I burn with this one. A little bit, keep adding some more detail. But it's a fun kind of project to do, and it like I said, it smells really good in here.
Kim, forgive me if I asked this in this meeting, because I know, we had a pre-shift meeting before this hand. We talked about the application of this, like where would you do this? I mentioned I thought it would be a nice backdrop for a catered buffet. you know, instead of getting an ice sculpture or lots of flowers, this could be a very affordable sort of way to pimp out your buffet. But you mentioned a few.
Yeah.
What did you
Well,
say?
that's buffet. And the thing is, the truth is, this is one of the cheapest food arts that you can do. I mean, the bread was, you know, like $5 by the time you buy enough bread, a couple dollars for the foam core and burlap and glue, you know, it's very cheap to make this one. And you can go really big, depends on the size of your foam core. You can go big, but I've done it live in Busch Gardens, like I said, where it was a show. And I'd work on the weekend and I'd burn 2 different pieces while people would come around and watch me burning and ask questions. So you could also have like a nice dinner, and if you wanted to show a show with it, you know, to entertain the people and have something to watch, this is a good one to do for that. Now I gotta take this one and take out the
Dinner
highlight.
and a show. Dinner and a show.
I didn't get that yet.
Dinner and a show.
Dinner on the show.
Oh, dinner and show. Yep, yep. So
Oh,
highlight his eyes with the result here. You gotta pull out his highlights so you can see the shine. Then you can add, you know, clean up some areas. You could also scrape too with the toast. If you needed to scrape out some spots, you could also scrape it out if you want to. But I can see, so you can kind of see him, right?
Yeah.
So this is pretty much it. That's how easy and fast it is to do, and you could get more detailed, less detailed, depending on what you want to make. You could pick a subject for wherever the dinner and the show is going to be. You could pick a special subject and have this be part of it.
Anybody has any questions for Kim at this point?
They're all Bob Rossed out.
If you don't want to say it out loud, just type it in the chat and I'll read it to her. How does that sound?
Yeah, Kim, I think I saw somewhere you've been on like 10 plus Food Network shows.
Yeah, I've been on Sugar Dome was my first one. I was like deer in headlights on that one. And that was a 1 episode. Then I was on Duff Till Dawn with the Ace of Cakes, Duff Goldman, which was really fun. Then I did Outrageous Wedding Cakes 2. That was just a show where we just showcased a zombie cake, my partner and I. And then it was Cake Wars, Star Wars, where my teammate and I, we happened to win that one. The next one after that was called Cake Wars Christmas. And that was a 6-episode show. And our team was called Rowdy Reindeer. And there was a team of 3. Actually, Dean, you guys probably all know Dean Murray, right? Yeah. Dean was on the team with me. And we made it 5 episodes out of the 6, which was really cool. And then I went on to Holiday Wars. It was last December it aired. And we won. It was a 4-episode and we won Holiday Wars. But it was a team of 3 again. And just recently I was on Cake-a-Likes, a new show, and my partner Blake, Chef Blake, we had to build a life-size cake of Lady Gaga.
Yeah.
Which was fun. We didn't win though.
So how tall is Lady Gaga?
Well, she was like 5'5", I think. We were measuring because they gave us the measurements and we were measuring everything too. They don't show that in the editing, but we had that tape measure out, making sure that her legs were what they were supposed to be, everything.
Wow.
But our photo, we did the origami dress because it was a choice of 3 depending on where you, like your first challenge. They gave us a ridiculously crazy first challenge where only one of us had to make the other partner in 20 minutes, which is unheard of with cake. I made Blake and we took the first part of the challenge. So we got the choice to pick whether it was meat dress, origami dress, or it was like just a sparkling night out where she had like like in concert, like one of the big concerts. We picked origami because we kind of, both of us like to push the issue. And it seemed like it was a little harder. I think she came out great, but the dress with the sparkles or the sequins, that was the one it won.
Oh,
It's okay. Ours just gets seen everywhere. People love it, so I'm happy.
nice.
So you've won a little cash doing this, huh? You won a couple episodes? You won the, I don't know
Well,
what the prize
yeah.
is.
Well,
Like,
I mean, there's two stories. Cake Wars Star Wars. I never seen any cash, even though we won. I didn't see any of the lead partner. She just kept it all. But they changed the rules on that after that. But for Holiday Wars, yeah, I did. We won 25,000.
I got a question.
that's
Okay.
cool.
On a bread piece with a color airbrush.
I haven't, but you can. Because if you use the airbrush where it's like just like on the cake, this will react like fondant will, where it only takes a certain amount of moisture when you use the airbrush color, so you could color it with the airbrush. Because I was just talking about how you could do that. I just like the way it looks with the toast, actually. But you could throw some yellow. I could probably dust in some yellow eyes if I wanted to.
I think the toast makes it look like rustic.
Yeah, I like it. Just has that kind of what do you call it? That look of you know what I mean? Just like that kind of toasty kind of monochromatic kind of look to it. I kind of like that.
I wonder if with the airbrush, a lot of the paint will get absorbed into the toast, and you will lose a lot of.
I don't think so, because fondant is so fondant doesn't like moisture either. But you can airbrush fondant if you're doing it fast enough and it doesn't ruin the fondant. So the toast
Okay.
would probably have you'd probably have more tolerance than the actual fondant would have if you're airbrushing.
Okay.
I just want to fix something over here. First, put my things down here. I have like wires everywhere, but I want to add a little bit more burn on the one side here. Okay, just not enough right here. But this is pretty much it. I mean, if you really want, I have powdered colors. I could throw in some color to show you what that looks like if you want that. If not, these beaks supposed to be dark. That's all. Pretty much, there we go.
Very cool.
That was weirdly satisfying to watch.
I have that Bob Ross appeal.
It really is. Like,
Except I don't have the fro.
like, I get it, right? I totally get how you can use this, like I said, in buffets, like whatever. Like, I'm digging it.
People love it. I mean, I had anywhere from, can I bring some jelly over? Do you have butter to add to it? I mean, people were just loving it. I had a huge crowd that day. It was crazy how many people were hanging around the booth. I didn't have, they hardly had any room for anybody else to come and look. They were like crowding the booth beyond crowding the booth. It was a very successful one because we did lots of different things like chocolate, pasta, cake, candy, all these different types of things. And this one was one of the favorites.
Cheese as well, Kim.
Yeah, cheese. Yeah, just about anything. If
Yeah.
it's food, I can turn it into art. That's my rule.
Yeah.
Since I can't eat it, I'm gonna play with my food.
It's okay to play with your food, huh?
Yeah.
Pretty
Well,
cool.
I always got in trouble as a kid, you know, and now I make money doing it.
Good.
What did they know?
Yeah.
There we go.
There you go. That's awesome.
I love it.
So
Very
It's my
cool.
great horned owl. There we go. So
Nice,
I'm crooked now though.
Made it like in a half hour. Like,
nice. Yeah,
digging it.
very nice. Super.
Let me see if I can straighten that out. There we go.
Anybody has any questions for Kim before?
See the owl?
Yeah, looks great, Kim. And you can say, and you said that it can last at least a year, maybe even
Yeah,
longer.
no,
right?
I had one stay a year in this place, as long as you put it somewhere where it's not like in the middle of major humidity or water getting on it. But it just sat in the corner of this restaurant that had air conditioning for a year.
Wow. Wow, very nice. Well, Flack is adding some, information about some YouTube videos and, the pen and some stuff there. So check it out if you want to add it, you want to buy it. So, the tools, because the technique is already being demonstrated. Thanks, Kim. I appreciate you
Sure.
sharing with us tonight. It was awesome.
Well, thanks for having me.
Bill, if you can email all the stuff you're posting, maybe to Claudia or whatever, and I'll email this stuff out to everybody because I see all this stuff in the chat.
Okay.
And I don't know how to copy it, but I'll share this with everybody that joined the meeting tonight. But
We're still trying to figure out how to do all this.
but wow, very cool.
Yep. Yeah.
Yeah, awesome. Cool.
Yeah,
Thank
excellent.
You, Kim.
Well, really appreciate
Now,
your
when you
time.
get tired of it, you just put it outside and let the birds have at it.
Yeah.
There you
Right.
go.
That's why the robins came back today.
Yeah. No, they don't eat that.
Oh, they don't?
No.
Guess
All right.
I'm eating it.
All right. Well, thank you so much
you.
for having me.
No, thank you for joining us tonight. I really
Thank you,
appreciate your
Kim.
time putting this together. It was like I said, I really enjoyed watching it. That was great.
Oh,
Smoke
good.
alarm going off, the power, I love it. But no, it was really awesome.
I wish I had smell-o-vision for you.
Yeah, right. Fantastic. All right, I'm going to thank you so much, Kim. Appreciate it.
Okay.
Thank you.
All right.
Thank you, Kim.
I'm leaving now. Bye.
All right, bye. Please spotlight.
You don't have to leave. You can stay, but
Claudia,
Yeah, I gotta clean up.
okay.
All right. See you
That's-
later.
That's
Claudia-
the fun part for us.
Good night,
We don't
everyone.
have to
Claudia,
clean up anything.
you are on the spotlight. If you want to share your screen now for the
I
raffle.
want. Well, you need to enable me for me to share my screen because it says
I have to
that
make the
I'm
host?
disabled.
I have to make you the host. Is that what it is?
I think so.
I don't know how to leave anyways. There we go. I did it.
Stick
No, I didn't.
around.
I'm still there.
Okay, still not there yet, John.
Hold on a second. I don't think that's true, Claudia. You should be able to go down and hit share screen, no?
Okay, share screen, and it says host disabled participant share screen sharing.
Oh, did I? Oh, hold on.
Oh, come on.
Okay, now try it.
Okay, here we go. Yes, here we go.
Sorry about
Okay, fantastic. Here we go. Okay.
All right,
share.
everybody. As usual, if you've been with us for the past couple of years, we could talk about our previous raffles. There was the one at Tri-C with Smithfield, and Claudia picked her own name.
Yeah. Listen, it was legit, but that's
Mhm.
okay. That's why I don't participate anymore.
So
But
what's that? Oh,
listen, please. John doesn't want to talk about this, but there was an event was it Saturday or Sunday, John? On Saturday? On
Saturday.
Sunday? He doesn't want to talk about this, but listen, he was recognized right here. You guys can see it as the 2021 honorary chef at the Cleveland Chef Gala for Office Speaks. And it's a very dear cause to John because of his son. So he had a chance to cook with him. And let me see if I can move this. Where did it go? Gosh, I don't know. Well, you guys saw the picture earlier, didn't you?
Are you trying to? Yeah.
Well, I had one with your son. Don't look at my stuff.
No, we went by it. I see it. Right.
Here, there it is. There it is. So he had a chance to cook. What's your son's name, John?
Michael,
Michael. How old is he now?
15.
Wow, he's way tall.
Was a big kid.
So, yeah.
It's hard buying clothes for him.
So I'm sure you had a good time, cooking with your son as your sous chef, right?
It was he joined me in my first. I've been doing Autism Speaks for, I don't know, 10 years almost, it seems like. Cleveland, New York, Pittsburgh. This was supposed to be last at 2020 at the art museum. We had
Oh,
to pivot.
yeah.
We had to pivot, so now we just did a virtual cook along for about 150 people who received ingredients and they cooked along with us. Myself, Adam Bostwick did a dessert, and a chef Temple Turner, and we all made a dish inspired by someone that is, someone that we love that's on the spectrum. So my son was able to join me, so it was great.
Nice, nice.
We had a
Well,
good time. And then I
thank you
made him
for doing that.
I made him wash dishes afterwards.
well, that's the same thing that Kim is doing right now, washing dishes,
Thanks,
So it's part of
Alvin. Alvin
it's
saying
part of
goodbye.
the
Thanks,
job.
Alvin.
It's part of the job. So, all right, now we're going to the wheel. And I hope your names are here. If you don't see your name, speak up quickly because I'm going to go for it. Everybody's naming here? Yes?
You hit that button,
Yes?
put your hands up. I don't want you hitting the stop button on somebody that you like. I want this to be legit.
Listen, I'm gonna click in here and then I'm gonna go like this. But if Pam wins again, she's taking me out. Are we ready?
I'm ready.
Here we go. My hands are, look, you can see my hands. I have nothing.
What is this? It's fixed.
Oh,
2 months in a row, Pam. This is fixed.
You saw my hands.
I
The most
swear.
bogus raffle I've ever seen.
No, listen.
Why don't we just
see,
give Pam money? Just Pam, here's the money, Pam.
I'm gonna remove her
Remove
from the
Pam. Did you remove her?
because she's probably gonna win twice if I don't remove her. Good job, Pam. Here we go again.
Yay, Pam. Good for you.
Yay.
Hands up. Here I go, right? Oh my gosh, this is hilarious. Oh gosh, you're kidding.
Any other board members would like to win a prize, please let us know. Derek, wait, whoa. Derek works at the Jack Casino.
Derek, do you want it? Do you want to pass it? I don't know. Anyway, so
Where you at, Derek? Are you still here?
she's right there.
Pass it.
I don't
Derek
know.
said, pull his name and pass it. Derek, you want a gift certificate to your job. So when you get off work, you can go back to work and eat. Pull Derek's name.
Well, it's at the Racino. He doesn't work there. He works at downtown.
Close enough. All right, pull-
No,
Yeah,
no.
you can pass it. Let it go again.
Okay, all right. Well, then let me remove. Can I remove you? Well, okay. If you win again, doesn't count. Okay. Here we go. Hands up. That's funny. No, please. I was gonna say.
There we go.
Chad.
That's what I'm talking about.
All
Chad.
right, Chad. Congratulations.
Congratulations, Chad. I don't know if you're still on this call or not. So Pam and Chad, I will arrange for you guys to get, I think it'll be an e-card. I gotta call Shane.
Shane.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I'll call you, Claudia, and we'll set up a time.
You guys are gonna go to lunch
Listen,
together.
I was
knew
totally
it.
kidding, but if you want to invite me, who am I to say no? Just tell me when.
Fixed.
Will be a good chance to get out. So
Everybody, thank you so much for joining us tonight. It was a nice, intimate, fun little event. So I really appreciate everybody's time tonight. I hope everyone is staying safe and getting back to work. I know times are still wild and crazy, but I hope some normalcy is coming back to everybody's life. And I know we are having discussions about what a in-person meeting looks like this year. We are talking about maybe doing something in the summer in the metro parks or something. I want everybody to feel safe. But I do miss ACF people and ACF stuff. So we'll see if we're gonna play it by ear. And if everybody feels safe, hopefully we can get together sometime this year and get back to it. But I hope you're able to join us next month for Steve Beatty. We do have a few things. Actually, Derek is also working on an event for May. It's going to be
the third.
May 3rd. He's going to do a demo. So, everybody, maybe Derek. He was our chef of the year before the world ended. He is now at the Jack Casino, and he is also an adjunct instructor at Tri-C teaching Garbage and talking about doing a little presentation on country terrains, which I think will be, all that stuff's coming back. If you don't follow Derek on Facebook, he's doing some really cool stuff in class. So we have that coming up in May. So I hope you guys are able to join us and keep supporting us. And if you guys need anything, please don't hesitate to reach out and ask and talk and tell me what you need. Everybody have a great night.
Bye,
Thank
guys.
you.
Good night, guys.
Go.